Hi. Have you noticed that this video is much better framed than all of my other ones? It's because I bought a cable, which goes from the camera to my phone, so I can actually see what I'm doing now, which is lovely. Now you can see this, you can see little penguin guy that sits on my desk. Isn't that lovely? Today's video, right, I know I make these ridiculous videos because that's, you know, that's the brand. It's ridiculous, confusing nonsense. And so in keeping with that, the other day I was making a goulash. Okay. And how do I know it was a goulash? Because that's what the recipe said. The recipe said this is a smoked tofu and black bean goulash. It was delicious, but that's not the point. The point is, what the hell makes something a goulash? What makes anything is, in my opinion, the way it's prepared. So I think a goulash is technically just a stew, right? So you expand that further, right? If a stew is just like a lot of liquid, like stock or water, or even like milk or something, with a lot of veg or meat or something boiling in it for a long time, and then you get like a sort of a thicker, richer, stewed meal, right? So that's the theory. So let's apply that to goulash, right? So what was it? It was tofu in like water and paprika, and it like just chilled out in there. Because I did it in the slow cooker, so it was like 5 hours or something ridiculous. I think that's kind of technically a stew, right? What's the next one? Stew. Stew? If someone said stew, I would think like potatoes, broccoli, stock, maybe bits of chicken. That's a stew, okay. But how is that different to a goulash? Or a broth? Right. I'm aware this is not a very interesting subject, but it struck me like a bolt of lightning out of the blue the other day. Like, why are there so many different words for things? And long story short, I came to the conclusion that the reason there are so many different words for types of stews is because of the spices more than it is because of the preparation method. So like, the preparation method is the same for all of them. For a tagine or a curry, or even like a chili or a chunky soup, or broth, stew, goulash, anything. It's the same way of making it, it's just different spices, basically. Like if I kept the tofu and the black beans and the stock the same, and instead of paprika I put in other spices, it could have been a curry, it could have been anything else. And this is like it's kind of a video about food, it's kind of also a video about appreciating words and their meanings and where they come from. And I know that's incredibly pretentious. I mean, you know, the hair and the terrible facial hair, that should be enough to tell you that I am a very pretentious guy. But I just think it's kind of weird that so many things are based on like the method of their preparation rather than what's actually in them. Am I making any kind of sense? Does this make any kind of sense? Please put in the comments and say whether this does make sense or doesn't make sense. I hope it does make sense. Because it's just a rant about stew, really. The reason I keep using the word stew as my main word is just because I think it's the funniest of all the words for things that are technically stews. Stew. No, I mean, I think it's a funny word. I like it. If you disagree, if you think there's a funnier word, do you think goulash is a funnier word than stew? Maybe. I don't think so. But yeah, that's my nugget of bullshit for this week. It just came to me the other day. I took a break from the US Office, which is now on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, do it. It's on UK Netflix at the minute. And it's dead good. I always thought, well, because there's lots of people on like Instagram and stuff, like churning out memes and screen caps and stuff as if to say like, oh, it's the best TV show ever, love it so much. Yeah, great, but is it really that good? It is that good, it's really good. After a couple of seasons, like it starts out great and then just gets better. The first season's a bit, but the second season it sort of finds its feet, and then by the sort of third or fourth season it's sprinting and it's really, really good. I really like it. We've been watching it, it's really good. Please you watch it as well, it's really good. I think I just kicked the tripod. Was that? I hope you liked that, if you noticed at all. If not, I'd kicked my radiator. I don't even... Yeah, the radiator must work. I don't pay attention. But That's my point, right? Stews are a weird concept, made weirder by the fact there's no sort of unified way to refer to them. And it doesn't matter that much, but it occurred to me the other day and I think it's cool. So now I'm subjecting you to this nonsense. Thank you very much for watching this short video about stews and somehow the US office. I like both of those things, and I imagine you would too if you ate the stews and watched the US office. Or watched a stew and ate the US office. I don't imagine that'd be quite so good, really. Like you'd have to eat like a DVD or a USB stick or something. I don't imagine. I might kill you. Don't do that. Don't eat a CD. Oh my god. But this is, to be honest with you, this is even more nonsense-based than most of the usual Nugget of Bullshit videos. But I've quite enjoyed it, talking about stew. I've got a lot to do today, you know. And I'm enjoying talking about stew. It's like a nice break. This morning I had lots of like, I don't like using the word customer service because the phrase customer service, because it makes me feel all gross and corporate. But like, people send me messages, because the day job is writer, and like, when I'm, like, in the mornings usually I have to sort of sit down and reply to a load of messages all in one go. So I replied to a load of messages, and then I had like a self-tape to do for my agency, and now I'm taking a bit of a break. I'm talking about goulash. I'm recording this video, I'm gonna edit it, I'm gonna upload it. It's a nice chill out stew break. You take a stew break today in terms of mental health and well-being and being kind to oneself. Take a break in the middle of the day, think about your favourite stew, and maybe have that for tea if you've got the stuff in. If you don't, then, I don't know, fry an egg and eat that. I hope you've enjoyed my nonsensical ramble about stew and well-being. I glossed over the tofu bit, didn't I? Yeah, I've been eating a lot of tofu recently. I found out that, weirdly, the little shop next to me, I think it's a co-op, they sell it, but like Tesco and stuff, I cannot find it in Tesco for whatever reason. So I've been going to the shop and buying tofu and then cooking it. It's nice. Last night I made honey and garlic tofu, which was bloody amazing. It was like this sort of, sort of teriyaki, but not really. It was like a soy sauce, honey and garlic sauce that like thickened up as it cooked and coated and soaked in. Oh mate, it was really good. Try that as well if you don't like stew. If you don't like either of those things, then order a pizza. That's what we're doing tonight. Because I record Nuggets of Bullshit on the same day that they get released, and today is the 20th of January. It better be the 20th of January, now I've said it. But it's the inauguration day. And tonight, Chloe and I were going to order a pizza, watch the inauguration, and think, thank God for that. Well, before we stray too much into US politics, have a lovely day. I've got a coffee which is still too hot to drink. Cheers. Have a lovely day, eat some stew, have a stew break, drink some water, be silly, be kind, make a dumb joke about like, I don't know, your cat or whatever. My cat's in the other room, probably listening to this and thinking, Christ, why do people listen to your podcast? Well, the nonsense is very on brand for me, so that's what we're going with. Thank you very much for watching. Drink some water, be kind, be silly. Have a lovely day. Thank you for watching.